Namaste and welcome back to another podcast, Transform to Transcend with Pratimoksha. Today we're discussing yoga styles. There are so many yoga styles that we find it often very confusing as to what would suit us and what are the differences between these. We have with us Lalita. Namaste, Lalita.
Namaste.
So we're discussing yoga styles. So who better than to ask you about this? So Ashtanga Yoga, Bihar School of Yoga, so many. Could you please do something about this confusion that I'm having?
Right. So if you remember our first episode on yoga therapy, I had described how how the origin of yoga had taken place. So I was mentioning the Patanjali's yoga, the ancient Patanjali's yoga, which is also known as the classical yoga period. And he has compiled a book called Yoga Darshana, in which we have 4 chapters or 4 padas it is called. Now these 4 padas, if you would allow me to explain, we will start with Samadhi pada, which is explaining what the ultimate goal of the yoga practice should take you to. So Samadhi, Sama is even state and Dhi is mind. So in the first chapter we're talking about the mind. So yoga is all about mind management. In that he is discussing what is mind, what are the afflictions that affect the mind, how to tackle the problems. All these are explained in the Samadhi pada. In the second chapter, it is called the Sadhana pada. The word sadhana itself means practice. So he is talking about what are the different practices that one should do to achieve this even state of mind. And in the third chapter is talking about the benefits. What would one achieve when somebody is going to do this 8 limbs in his everyday life? Where it would take him to. And then eventually he is talking about Kevalam Avastha, which is called the Kaivalya Pada, the ultimate objective or the ultimate goal of all the yogic practices. How one should see life. So now we go to the next part. So chronologically, I have talked about the Patanjali's 8 limbs which are being discussed in the Sadhana Pada, and then we come to the Hatha Yoga. So as time passed, yogis actually simplified the practices, and one of the teachers of those times, acharyas of those times, called Swami Swatmarama, he wrote a book called Hatha Yoga Pradipika. And the Hatha Yoga Pradipika started his practice with the asanas as a foundation. Basically, they believed that body and mind are one complex. And in order to condition the mind, first the physical aspect of the body needs to be addressed. Now, what are the physical practices of the body? Asanas, your physical exercises, cleansing, how to take care of the pot. Basically, Ghatastha Yoga it is called. So, how to cleanse the pot. So, all the Shat Karmas fell into that. So, this was the foundation for the body management. Now, what about the mind, mental energies, the pranayama? Then there are other 2 limbs also which were part of the Hatha Yoga practice. Time passed. Gheran Samhita, which was written in the 17th century, that book was compiled by a sage called Gheranda, and it was being taught to a king called Chandakapali. Now in that the Saptanga Yoga was mentioned. So in all this, what is the foundation? The foundation is talking about the yoga physical practices, and in the physical practice we have all the asanas.
So now within this itself, there are many types, styles of doing the physical practice of the asana practice, isn't it?
Yes. So if you look at physical practices, but today what are we familiar with? We have the Ashtanga Vinyasa style, we have the Shivananda style, we have the Bihar School of Yoga, we have Integral Yoga, we have Iyengar style. So all of these are based on the asana practices per se, the primary. Alright. So when you look at the asana practices, let us compare it to different outfits that we wear. Alright, let's compare it to the asana practice. We have our pants, we have our blouses, we have our skirts, etc. Right? Even in those, we have different patterns and designs coming out of any outfit that we wear. The same way, we have Iyengar school, which is teaching yoga with the assistance of props. This also I had mentioned earlier in one of our podcasts. So they use props in order to simplify the asanas and deepen the asana postures to achieve the advanced postures basically. Similarly, you have the Mysore style. They brought in the Ashtanga Vinyasa style. They were sequencing a series of asanas in a certain pattern with inhalations and exhalations woven into it. That was called Ashtanga Vinyasa. We have primary series, we have A Surya Namaskar, we have B Surya Namaskar, and so on and so forth. Then we have the Shivananda style. They had 12 postures. They speak about 12 postures, 12 asanas, which will balance all the chakras, 7 chakras that we have. So every teacher, modern teacher, has incorporated his or her own styles into the asana practices. I wouldn't want any of you to get confused with the Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali and Ashtanga Vinyasa style of asana practice. Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali talks about Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Remember, we have our blogs and we have written that this is an integral part of anybody's yoga practice.
True.
Whereas the Ashtanga Vinyasa style is a set of asanas alone, sequenced in a certain format to suit certain body types. I hope it's clear now.
It is very clear, because I was getting a bit confused about that.
Right.
So is there anything like one is better than the other, or one is more suitable? How do you distinguish between what is better for you, for a practitioner?
We all know that according to Ayurveda, we are different body type. So a real yoga teacher should be competent enough to understand a personality and be able to teach yoga according to what that person needs. Even in Pratimoksha, we have general classes, but what we are specialized is in conducting unique classes tailor-made to suit their body type according to their Ayurvedic constitution.
So that's why a lot of people come for individual classes with Pratimoksha at your center, isn't it?
Yes. And we also conduct group classes. Let's say if we have 3 or 4 people belonging to a certain body type, then that also we can make a group and we can teach them.
So then now coming to pranayamas. So are there pranayamas which suit certain body types?
Yes. In fact, there are pranayamas that can only be practiced by certain body types during winter. During summer, it is for a Pitta personality, the fire predominant personality. They cannot or they must not practice Kapalbhati, which is again aggravating the heat in the system. But for all you know, during winter time, this will be a good practice to kickstart their metabolism. Similarly, Kapha body type, they should not be practicing anything which is relaxing, because they're already relaxed people. So they need to practice rejuvenating pranayama to get their to kickstart their day.
So then now coming to meditative practices, dhyana, another limb of yoga. What do you say about this?
Again, the same thing, depending upon the personalities. For a hyperactive personality, they should be more into something like painting, because if you put them in a meditative posture, the mind is all the time wondering, what to do, what not to do. So they will never be able to focus. So we need to get them to center first. So give them activities that will help them center their thoughts. So give them painting, give them music is a therapy by itself. So same way, somebody who is very relaxed and calm by nature, they what about their dhyana practice? They'll fall off to sleep.
Yes.
So they need something like a nature walk, whereby they can focus on the nature, what will help them, the energies that they get from the nature that will keep the mind calm, at the same time active. And focused. So it depends on personalities. It depends. Ultimately, meditation is a state of being integrated both mentally, physically, so that your spiritual levels can be raised higher and higher.
So then I hope it's clear to all the yoga practitioners out there the differences between the styles of yoga, and particularly between the Ashtanga Vinyasa style of asana practice and Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. That's very important. So till we meet again in another podcast, if you have any queries, any doubts, anything you want to know more of, please comment in the comment section. Until then, it's Namaste from Pratimoksha.